This CMAC Sports broadcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Thank you for your support.
From Sunnyside Stadium in southeast Fresno, this is North Yosemite League football on CMAC. Tonight, the Sunnyside High Wildcats take on the McLane High School Highlanders. Hello again, everybody. I'm Dan Taylor, joined by the coach, Fred Clark. And Fred, there's a lot on the line tonight. First place, championship implications, and from McLane High, maybe the biggest game they've played in many, many a year.
It's been a generation since McLane has played in a game like this late in the season where they have a chance to get a slice of the championship. It's going to be no easy task. They're running against this juggernaut, Sunnyside, who's averaging close to 50 points a game, and very explosive team. And as we see right now, we have a very still smoke cover over the field.
They greeted the Wildcats onto the field with blue and yellow smoke, and it has left a green haze lingering over that half of the field. McLane kicking off. Sunnyside brings it back out to about the 27-yard line, where they will begin on offense. And this is one very prolific offense. Their quarterback, of course, Tanner Wilson, 103 for 128 on the season. He has thrown for 1,600 yards, 21 touchdowns, been intercepted just 4 times thus far. The Wildcats come in 7-1 overall, 5-0 in the North Yosemite League. McLane at 4-1 in the North Yosemite League tonight. And one more game, all that's left. Terrific block, frees up the back. He is ridden out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Our roster for the Sunnyside is not accurate. Said that was Pacheco, but I think that was Burton that had the last that carry that gave him first down yardage.
A quick out. DJ Jones brought down after a gain of about 3 yards. Jones, the top receiver in terms of scoring, 7 touchdown passes in the team's 8 games, 22 receptions. Ross with 31 receptions on the season. So they've got a couple of guys who can go up and get it.
Both talented with good leaping ability.
On the ground, crosses midfield before being flung to the ground.
This could bring up third, very short yardage, and the Wildcats don't like to punt much, especially when they're on the plus side of the field.
Tanner Wilson gonna go to the air, quick out, complete for the first down, into McLane territory, down to the 39-yard line.
The Highlanders, if they're going to have any chance of really staying in this game, they're going to have to get pressure on Wilson and make him feel a little uncomfortable. But he's not a statue. He has good wheels underneath him, and he's able to escape danger rather easily.
He gets rid of the ball very, very quickly. We have had coaches say, as good as Wilson and those receivers are, the thing they do best is run the football, and we're seeing that on this opening drive. Down to the 37-yard line. On the ground once again. Looks to have first down yardage. We'll wait for the official spot.
That was Daquan Jones. Also a weapon coming out of the backfield on short passes.
Senior night tonight here at Sunnyside Stadium. The Wildcats with 17 seniors. A lot of hoopla prior to game time. Quick toss caught by C.J. Jones. Correction, DJ Johnson, number 13, pulled that one in for a gain of 6 for the Wildcats.
Wilson did a good job getting rid of that right before the line of scrimmage.
Daquan Jones with the carry before being wrestled down. And an injured Highlander, slow to get up at the 19-yard line. Wilson, quick toss over the middle. Burton gets into the end zone for the first score of the night. Touchdown, Sunnyside High School.
They went 75 yards in under 3 minutes, and they didn't. They only faced 1 third down that entire drive. McLane's really going to have to get some adjustments to counter this. The Wildcats traditionally go for 2 points after their initial touchdown of each game. This looks to be no exception.
Bit of difficulty getting one particular player coming on late. A little important too because he's the guy who snaps the football.
That does matter.
In the back of the end zone, they say that he got the feet in, and the 2-point conversion is good. It's an 8-0 Sunnyside lead. So Sunnyside strikes first, takes an 8-0 lead here.
That looked all too easy for the Wildcats. Wildcats usually go with pooch kicks on virtually all of their kickoffs.
Malachi Barnes to do the kicking. And it's angled. Going to hit it about the 16-yard line. Highlanders going to try to bring it back. And he's got some running room. That's Demetrius Simon. And he is hauled down at the 31-yard line.
I didn't give my customary weather report. I've been stymied by this smoke. It's dissipating slowly, but still hanging right over about the top of the stands here. We have 87 degrees at kickoff with virtually no wind. Beautiful night, but 87. It's going to cool off before the end of the game, but cramping could be an issue for both these teams.
So the Highlanders come out to start their first series on offense. Noah Zamora, their quarterback. They alternate quarterbacks, Zamora and Turner. Differing skill sets, but overall in the season, very, very comparable statistics. Zamora, 34 for 58 on the year, a 58% passer. He has only thrown 1 interception. They have alternated Zamora and Turner. Jaden Turner, who's only a sophomore, and Turner, a 53% passer with 7 interceptions, both with 6 touchdowns on the season. And we've got a personal foul face mask against Sunnyside. And just like that, the Highlanders have the football at the 43-yard line. So 1st and 10 is there Newsom, who's really their big offensive weapon. He goes in motion to the opposite side. They come to the near side. And that is Simon, who gets across midfield and is brought down at the Sunnyside 42.
McLane has some speed burners here. You know, Newhouse, Simon, McMillan, and Mendiblis can book also. So they have some weapons.
In their big win last week, we did not see Newhouse. He sat out a 1-game suspension. Zamora escapes the rusher. He's got some room to run. He's up near the 30-yard line, goes out of bounds, and it looks as though he may have crossed the 30 down to about the 27-yard line.
And we've commented before, Zamora is one tough kid. He runs angry. He doesn't run like a quarterback usually does. He's not looking to fall down or to go out of bounds.
Take another look at the run. So 1st and 10 for the Highlanders from the Sunnyside 27-yard line. Going to go up the middle to Simon, and he may have lost a yard on the play.
Everything collapsed on him. The Wildcats were not fooled.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 12 now for the Highlanders. Zamora returns to the huddle with a play from the sideline. Sunnyside striking first, driving 75 yards. Their first possession plus the 2-point conversion for an 8-0 lead. That play is, and the ball's on the ground, but Zamora alertly jumps on it. Highlanders recover, but a big loss on that play.
And the Wildcats just had penetration. They overwhelmed the McLane line on that. They were probably had 3 men in the backfield.
So big 3rd down play for the Highlanders. 3rd and 14. And they have got to get down to the 18-yard line. Zamora, quick toss. He's got his receiver. He's trying to gain some additional yardage and circles back and loses.
That was Juju Scott and got a few yards, but not much. The Highlanders 4th down, and they've got a long ways to go.
Interested to see if they go for a field goal here, because in pregame, the Highlanders kicker Ariel Valadez was successful from 50 yards out. But they're going to go for it on 3rd and 15 here. No, it's 4th and 15. Scoreboard is off. And they're going to get 5 easy yards on the offsides call on the Wildcats.
Okay, with that 5 additional yards and with the leg, I think I'd try and get.
I think they're going to. I think that is Valadez coming on, and they are going to go for the field goal here.
Yeah, if you get 3 out of that, not a bad deal.
He showed plenty of leg in pregame warm-up. Of course, pregame warm-up is one thing, and doing it under fire with a rush is an entirely different matter, and this is going to be short. And they're going to bring it out. The Wildcats are going to bring the football out, and they're not able to.
I guess dead ball once it goes into the end zone, and there's a flag down.
Waiting to see and hear what the call will be as the officials talk things over. It is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And the penalty will go against Sunnyside.
Be half the distance. Yeah, Valadez didn't get everything into that kick. But I still think that was the right move for the Highlanders. When you have a 4th and over 10 yards to go, you can't punt it away, but got to try and put some points on the board.
Well, as we mentioned, he showed the distance in pregame. Did not appear to kick with the intensity there that we saw in some of his pregame kicks. Wildcats now with their second possession of the night. They're going to run it up the middle, but they're going to pick up maybe 4, potentially 5 yards on the carry. They're getting very good push up there on the offensive line, aren't they?
Yeah, both the lines so far, Sunnyside's dominated.
Wilson's going to keep it himself. Looking for running room. Brought down at about the 25-yard line. Plenty of yardage for the first down.
Yeah, Wilson has some acceleration on him. Once he's turns the corner, he's really got some speed going.
Wide open C.J. Jones. Complete to the 35-yard line of the Wildcats. He was wide open. On the ground.
I like the Wildcats' play selection. They're really mixing it up.
Dixon, the ball carrier. Stopped at the 45.
Still going to be first down yardage for the Wildcats.
Wilson lets it fly. Pass incomplete. Wilson could not find an open receiver and couldn't find any room to run either. And
did the right thing throwing it away. Jazz Boylan was putting heat to him.
Keeping it on the ground and nothing doing there at the 45-yard line.
Dan, I'm going to take a break and I'm going to give you Coach Tony Caviglia,
Wow,
the City College Rams here for a minute or two.
Yeah, that's a great treat.
Here you go, Coach.
Third and 10 now, ball at about the 46-yard line. Tanner Wilson. Two receivers on either side. He's going to go to the air, but he's going to be flushed from the pocket. Manages to evade the original pursuers. Cross midfield, brought down, first down yardage to the 42-yard line. Tony, good to see you. What brings you out on a night off?
Hey, Dan Taylor. How are you, buddy?
I'm great. It's great to see you. How many games are you hitting tonight, or is this
three?
just
I'm going to hit 3, yeah.
And then tomorrow, Contra Costa?
Sacramento.
Sacramento.
1 o'clock.
Terrific. Hope a lot of people will get out there and see that.
Yeah, Ratcliffe Stadium. You've been there before?
A time or two. What do you think when watching what you have seen so far tonight? There's some talent out here.
Boy, I tell you what, you could tell it's a championship game.
A lot of intensity tonight, and Tanner Wilson's having a little trouble setting his feet tonight. They're keeping the heat on him.
Well, you know, this is probably one of the best McLane teams I've seen in a long time.
Yes.
I mean, they're thick and they look like they've been in the weight room, and it's good to see.
And they've got some good speed too.
Yep.
Wilson, quick shot. He's got Jones to the 35, down to the 30, put his head down, and is brought down at about the 29-yard line. So first down again for Sunnyside as they continue to drive. Already up 8-0. Did you by chance in pregame get a load of the leg of the McLane kicker?
Yeah, I thought he was going to make that kick. He missed.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think the snap was good, but yeah, he's got a strong leg. You know, It's hard to find good kickers these days.
It is. We were talking about that in the pregame. Sideline warning to the Sunnyside Wildcats, trying to get the players and coaches back away from the sideline.
That has to be Marcus Hawkins on the field. Yep. Former Ram linebacker.
There you go.
Sac State linebacker. Coaching at his alma mater. Out there on the numbers.
Wilson, he's going to keep it. We've got a penalty flag down in the area of holding. We'll see if that is the call. Thoughts on your club this season? You
Good.
Pleased with the growth of the team?
Yeah, we're growing. We're getting better. You know, it's a little shaky starting off, but I really feel we're starting to move forward. And you know, you don't want to peak too early in football. You want to peak at the end of the year, and we're moving in that direction, I think. Got a lot of really, really good players, and we're just trying to get, you know, with the junior college kids, you got half your team are just newcomers, you know, incoming freshmen, and then your sophomores are your experienced players. And
down to the 29-yard line. Well, you always do a great job of getting them coached up. Your teams are always so competitive. Sac City this year?
That's tomorrow. Yeah.
How are they this year?
Good. Yeah, really good. They're a dominant team up there in Sacramento, and you know, it's good. You know, every team we play has got a chance to beat us, so we got to be ready to go.
3rd and 4 now for the Wildcats. And let's see what we've got here. We are 2nd down. Wilson hits his receiver at the 20. They swarm to the football very well, though. McLane wanted to put a lot of pressure on Wilson tonight, but he makes it difficult. He gets rid of the ball quickly, and he's a very, very mobile quarterback. There's some good quarterbacks here in the Central Valley this year.
Yeah. There's some good seniors and some good underclassmen also.
Indeed,
yeah.
Indeed. We saw Edison a couple of weeks ago, and I really like their quarterback. To me, but what do I know compared to you? But I thought he was the best quarterback I had seen in the area this year.
Well, that kid at Clovis is really good.
I have not seen the Clovis teams.
He's really good. The kid at Clovis East is good. I like Central's quarterback. I mean, there's a, you know, this town produces good quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
All we need to do is get one of them.
Well, that ends the first quarter of play as the officials now are in a sprint to get to the opposite side.
What is that?
Reminds me of the Phoenix Open golf tournament in the caddy race.
Yes,
exactly. It was at the 16th hole. The officials sprinting to the opposite 20-yard line where we'll start playing the second quarter. Is this typical for you on a Friday night to try and get out and see 2 or 3 games, be visible?
Yeah, you know, I like to see all the teams, and you know, in our driving distance. And I got coaches all over. We got coaches in the counties, and you know, we have the ability because of our rules to get out earlier than the 4-year colleges can, and we could see more kids. 4-year colleges start coming out right around the 1st of October. So you know, we're gonna get to probably 65 high schools in about a 2.5-month period.
That's great. That's great.
And then it's a matter of just, you know, getting them on a list and recruiting them and seeing where the fit is. You know, it's just.
Well, it was nice hearing of their 17 seniors here at Sunnyside as Wilson going to the air, has his man over the middle, slips a tackle inside the 10-yard line, and he's going to get into the end zone. C.J. Jones, another touchdown for him. And another touchdown tonight for the Sunnyside Wildcats, on top now by a 15-0 score, a 14-0 score.
Yeah, he's long, he's rangy, he's I don't know, is he a junior or sophomore?
He's a junior. Yeah, that whole core of that team, a lot of junior talent there.
Yeah, I'm glad he's where he's at right now, and I know he's getting Zeb White, one of our former players, coaching receivers, doing a great job with them. Actually, Zeb Ward, number 9, was a great player for us.
Going for 2 once again. Wilson under pressure, lets it fly, and it's not going to succeed. So it's a 14-0 score after 2 Sunnyside possessions. 17 seniors introduced before the game tonight, and we heard a lot of them announce that they're going to play it or go to Fresno City College.
Yeah, it's good to know that we're respected around town like this, and there's great opportunities. If guys don't have the ability to go on to the four-year college right out of high school and they want to continue to play football, Fresno City is a good place for them.
I've long said that one of the great things you have done coming into Fresno City College is make it a very desirable destination for young student athletes that maybe physically or academically aren't of an ability at that stage in their life to move on to the four-year level. And Fresno City College, tremendous place to come and grow as a player, grow as a student, and be able then to move on and fulfill a lot of goals and objectives. So keep up the great coaching, great work. Good luck tomorrow with Sac City, 1 o'clock at Ratcliffe Stadium.
And I really appreciate that.
You bet.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Good to see you too, Dan.
So 14-0 our score. Great visiting with Tony Caviglia, the head coach at Fresno City College. Kick is going to bounce into the end zone, and the Highlanders will bring it out to the 20-yard line.
Well, now that City College Ram Report is out of the way, I'm back, and we have an updated Sunnyside varsity roster here for us to share. And at halftime, I know my officiating crew, I wrote it down, but the crew on the field doesn't match what I have written down, so at halftime we'll get that straightened out. I don't want to shorter officials any.
So 14-0, Sunnyside on top, and McLane grabs the football now to start their second possession of the night. They attempted a field goal at the conclusion of their first drive, and it fell short.
Well, the Highlanders can't panic, but they need to put another drive together, at least take time off the clock.
And
that
penalty.
So Clovis East is leading Clovis 15-7 early on. Clovis North is getting a little bit of a challenge from Buchanan. They lead 7-3. Penalties waved off. And Roosevelt has a 14-7 lead on Sanger West out at Tom Flores Stadium. San Joaquin Memorial is down 14-0 to Garza out at Central. And that is your scoreboard update.
Highlanders with men in motion. One Desir Newhouse, their big offensive threat. Quick out, coming to the near side. And it's only going to get, well, maybe a couple of yards. Jaron Scott.
Number 15, Kaden Ian, defending. 2nd and 9.
Maheen did a good job there playing off that straight arm to the helmet and hung with it and made the tackle.
Jada Scott coming in along with Zamora, ferrying in a play from the sideline. TJ McMillan III, a threat in the backfield. And I think they are going to admonish the band that once the offense is at the line of scrimmage, the band cannot be playing. Zamora's got pressure, steps up, tries to get away from it, nothing doing.
Zamora did a good job bringing that down. He never had full control of the football, and when he was struggling, he was unable to avoid that sack.
So 3rd and 7 now. Zamora under heavy pressure, shovels it to McMillan. McMillan looked for a moment as though he had an opportunity to gain some big yardage, but Sunnyside closed quickly and brought him down after maybe a gain of a yard or two.
Yeah, Noah Gonzalez came in. Watch him, number 10. And right when it looked like McMillan was going to get a break because he had a block on the outside. And Gonzalez saved that from getting out of hand for the Wildcats. And the Highlanders are going to have to punt the ball away.
4th down and 14, but it looks as though, well, we saw this a lot last week where they look as though they're going to engineer a play from the pistol formation, and then the punter drops back into punt formation. Kick coming to the near sideline and out of bounds, sailing across the 45. It'll be marked at the McLane 40-yard line. So frustration for the Highlanders as they're not able to muster much of anything on that drive and suffered under a lot of intense pressure from the Sunnyside pass rush.
And the Highlander offensive line let them down on that, and they're really going to have to tighten that up. Otherwise, it's going to be an exceedingly long night for the Highlanders. It looks like that could be happening soon.
So the Wildcats want to take advantage, Fred.
Oh, you bet. Highlanders need to step up on defense right now. They're not looking too confident.
But these 4 and outs don't help the defense to recover. To the air, wide open, C.J. Jones just beyond his fingertips.
Wilson made a good fake before unloading that and gave Jones a chance to really get some separation. Ball was just a tad bit overthrown.
For the danger now for the Highlanders, we've got a penalty that's going to march the ball back against Sunnyside. And it was holding. So the nose of the football placed at the 50-yard line. Burton to the near side.
Great execution by the Wildcats. They had the Highlanders all going the wrong way on that.
Jason Dixon with the carry. Oh, what I started to say though, Fred, is that the danger for McLane is having this defense on the field for this amount of time. They're going to wear these young men out, and come the second half, that's going to be very problematic. Wilson.
It's problematic now.
Bubble screen, plenty of running room.
It's Burns.
Down to the 20-yard line. Malachi Barnes, another of this talented senior class. Wilson, C.J. Jones. And McLane wants to take a timeout.
Yeah, they really need to be to regroup since that missed field goal. They've been pushed all over the field, both offensively and defensively.
So if you're on the sideline, Fred, what are you talking to these young men about right now?
Well, you have to have these position coaches get down and get some confidence reinstalled in the young men, because right now you're down 2 touchdowns here and likely danger of going down a third. And you have to get these guys to keep playing hard. Each play is a new play again. And not only is Sunnyside outmanning them, McLane is just going the wrong way on a lot of these plays. You know, when the coaches are sitting down and watching film until their eyeballs are ready to pop out, they just see things, and then they come up with new strategies, and sometimes the other team hasn't seen any of these before. It's a constant chess game.
Indeed.
But the team that blocks and tackles better usually wins the game, despite all of the chess talk.
14-0 Sunnyside. The Wildcats with the ball at the McLane 20-yard line, threatening once again. Wilson gives to Dixon. Correction, Daquan Jones, the ball carrier. One of the few seniors in the starting lineup. A very, very young team.
Both these teams have a lot coming back next year.
Wilson. Jones. Ankle tackle brought down at the 16. Coming into tonight's game, Sunnyside on top of the North Yosemite League with a 5-0 record. Torres High and McLane High, both with 4-1 marks, but McLane lost to Torres High. Roosevelt, Sanger West, Fresno High, all knotted at 2-3. Hoover High with a 1-4 record, Madera South 0-5, and Madera South and Hoover playing tonight. Is that right, Fred?
Yeah, they can settle that.
A lob into the end zone, wide open. Touchdown for Sunnyside. C.J. Jones on the receiving end.
And once again, Wilson made a good fake on that. We'll see this again. And, you know, Jones just wide open. No excuse for a young man with that talent to be that alone.
Clearly confusion in the defensive secondary for the Highlanders. And the Wildcats take advantage. Wilson flinging it, and pass interference will be called.
Yeah, Barnes got knocked out of the way just before the ball got there.
So a week ago, Sunnyside was really in a dogfight with Torres up there in Madera. Torres led at the half, but a whole different second half, but not that kind of a night tonight.
Yeah, the Toros had a 2-score lead on the Wildcats right before halftime, and the Wildcats were able to narrow it down a little bit and then made a few adjustments and came out, and Torres didn't have any answer. I didn't see them putting 60 points up on the Toros.
Wilson keeps it himself, and he is in. 2-point conversion good. And Sunnyside now on top 22-0.
Now we had some talk there. I think it's going to be a unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wildcats. Let's see this again. I think Wilson said something after scoring that 2-point conversion. And you know, Wilson, he has just got some talent on that. He made a nice move to get in there. He got the 2-point conversion. Then well, it appears the penalty is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wildcats. Has put him back 15 yards for the kickoff.
So 22-0. Sunnyside over McLane here. 7:24 mark of the second quarter. And after the penalty, the Wildcats will be kicking off from their own 40-yard line. Does their new house, Demetrius Simon, the deep men for McLane, but Sunnyside kickoffs rarely get to the deep men. And now with the penalty being marched off, it is moved back to the Sunnyside 25-yard line.
The Highlanders should be able to get the ball in good field position.
It's a good big break for the Highlanders. And they're certainly in deep need of a big break right now, down 22-0 in the second quarter. Liner on the ground. This is Simon. Thrown down at the 34.
And that was good coverage by Strong. He didn't let Simon get anywhere. And I like that kickoff too. If the kickoff is going to be short, I want it on the ground where it's going to be like a knuckleball. You don't know where it's going to pop up. Gives your coverage team a chance to go down and perhaps come up with something. If nothing else, you're not going to get much of a return out of it.
McLane to start from their 33-yard line, trailing 22-0 here in the second quarter. Noah Zamora, the Highlanders quarterback, going to go to the air under intense pressure once again. Flings it. He's got his receiver at the 40, and B.J. McMillan the third with the completion. First completion of the night, I believe, for the Highlanders.
And Zamora was under some real heat on that too. That another fraction of a second, he was going to get hit and maybe lose the ball.
Second down and 3. Give goes to, no, it's a fake. Didn't fake anybody out. It's a 6-yard loss.
Smart did a good job of holding on to that.
One of those where I guess the proper call was to have given it to the back.
Wouldn't have been any worse.
So you want to lessen the intense pressure that you're getting. What do? Try to get some runs up the middle. That hadn't worked. Quick passes.
Little out passes, screens, delayed quarterback draw. Not quite like that.
Zamora trying to step up in the pocket and potentially run, but he's tripped up.
And McLane's last 2 possessions have just been total disasters. The Highlanders' body language right now is not good.
4th and 9, ball at the 34-yard line. This is risky if, in fact, they're going to get the play off. We've seen them pull off fakes in past weeks.
This is Turner, who is a quarterback.
And it's snapped over his head. Turner trying to get rid of the football, rolling on the ground all the way down to the Sunnyside 35, and it will be down at the 34-yard line.
That was very fortunate that he got that off at all. It was a surprise. And then he got such a good bounce from it.
I'd probably tend to use the word miracle. That could have been absolute catastrophe for the Highlanders. So Sunnyside has scored on all 3 possessions, and they start their 4th possession now at their own 34-yard line.
You know, the Wildcats have such impressive, one shot, go down the field bombs, and all of their touchdowns have come with long drives that have taken time off the clock.
Wilson. Barnes near midfield. Looks like they will place the football right on the 50-yard line. Wilson. Oh, tremendous catch. Tyron Pree.
And that was some timing too. Pree was right there, passed right on the button.
First and 10 from the McLane 17-yard line. Wilson, the only man in the backfield. He's going to run. Now he's going to throw. He's got a receiver in the back of the end zone who pulls it into the touchdown. Penalty flag.
One-handed catch, and he...
Tremendous catch in the back of the end zone for the touchdown.
Boy, that's the play of the game. One-handed catch, and he had a man draped all over him. That was Malachi Barnes.
Official standing on the 20-yard line, getting the word from the back judge. Let's see what the call is going to be.
Not much doubt here.
There you go. Push on the defense. That pass interference back there in the back of the end zone. But a tremendous one-hand grab for the touchdown. Sunnyside now on top 28-0. And once again, the Wildcats going for two. Wilson dancing his way away from pursuers, and the pass is incomplete.
Well, the Highlanders just need to do something, hold on to the ball a little bit, not give the Wildcats another possession, because the Wildcats are just cutting through the Highlanders like it's nothing right now. So Stephen Hicks down there from Channel 30, he's seen enough. He's headed to the next game. See if I can find another score or two. Why McLane's crowd over there has had little to cheer about that attempted field goal that would have tightened things up temporarily. That didn't come to pass, and they have done nothing since. Clovis North has extended their lead over to Buchanan, 14-3 at the half. Up in Chowchilla, the Tribe is leading the Carruthers Blue Raiders 16-14 in a showdown for supremacy. Garza leads Memorial 21-7.
Ball fielded by Simon. Spins his way clear. Wrapped up, loses the football. McLane, do they have it? No, we've got a penalty flag has flown, but is that a spot flag or a penalty?
Could be either.
Simon down on the field injured. Training staff being waved on to tend to him. Officials talking about it in the backfield. Personal foul, a helmet-to-helmet hit charged to the Highlanders.
Oh, but Madera South has a 14-0 lead on the Patriots. The winless Madera South Stallions. A win there would put them into a last place tie with the Patriots, but they would have the bragging rights in head-to-head competition. Sunnyside did recover the fumble.
So the Wildcats with the football at the 10-yard line of the Highlanders. And I'll tell you, Fred, the most impressive performance we've seen thus far by the McLane Highlanders have been by a couple of their fans up in the stands in Section G near the top. They've been doing a fun synchronized light display using the lights on their cell phones.
Wilson's going to be brought down.
And penalty flag flies.
Oh, yeah. I see the light signals coming there.
Yeah, that's one. There's 2 or 3 of them up there, and they've been doing synchronized displays. So it looks like a hold is going to be the call against Sunnyside.
They're probably having some display over here on this side. Last night,
Number 5, Sunnyside. Replay the second down.
at McLane Stadium, the Bullard Band and the Sanger Band were flashing their lights back and forth at each other.
Tyron Pree, the guilty party for the Wildcats, moves the football back to the 19-yard line.
Still second and goal.
Wilson, quick toss. Receiver quickly wrapped up. He'll gain about 3-4 yards on the play.
Wilson had a couple other receivers open. They really have a good feel for each other.
Third and goal from the 18, Wilson. Quick toss. Play only picks up about 3 yards, and that'll make it 4th down.
Wilson knew where his outlet receiver was. His safety valve.
So 4th and goal from the McLane 15. Sunnyside has scored on every possession thus far in the ball game. They lead 28-0, 3:05 to play here in the second quarter. And we've got a timeout taken by Sunnyside. They want to talk things over. McLane has been able to get some heat on Tanner Wilson, which was their goal coming in, but he's able to make something out of almost nothing every time.
Yeah, he's got such good ball sense. He knows where his receivers are, knows where his blockers are, and the few times McLane, as you said, has got some heat on him, he's been able to escape danger.
So Sunnyside facing 4th down for the first time tonight. 28-0 on top. They have scored in each of their 4 possessions tonight. Big rush chasing him back to the 40-yard line. He spins away. Now is going to be wrestled down, wrapped up at the 50-yard line. Down goes Wilson. A huge sack on 4th down, and McLane is going to get possession of the football at midfield.
That was a 31-yard loss. You seldom see that.
Glad you did better in math than I did.
It was a guess. Well, midfield in the 19, even I can figure that one out.
My accountant is at home shaking his head.
He knows.
I know he does. So for the Highlanders, they take over possession of the football at midfield, trailing 28-0, and they would love nothing more than to get some points on the board before halftime. 2:46 to go. Zamora, deep ball, caught at the 22, and a penalty flag. That's got to be a pass interference penalty.
Oh, no doubt.
Jaron Scott with a terrific grab at the 22-yard line. Here comes the call.
On number 3, Sunnyside. That's declined.
Shamar Jones, the defensive back, called for the push. McLane declines the penalty. And they've got a first down at the 21-yard line.
Highlanders took a little bit too much time.
No, actually what happened, you had a uniform warning to DeAndre Johnson, and he was made to come off the field.
Oh, really? Okay.
Tanner Wilson going in to replace him.
Okay, that'll cost the Wildcats 5 yards. I had that going the other way.
We've heard this from some coaches that, and we chatted about it a little bit last week, but there has been an issue with a particular manufacturer whose pants are above the knee. They're very short.
Oh, yeah, we were talking about
And
that.
high school rules say the pant and a pad have to cover the knee. Pass incomplete. So generally in pregame, you've got the officials will check all the players, and they'll make sure that the jersey is pulled down over the padding, and so the numbers can be visible. They also are really cracking down on this particular pant, and the players like this pant. It's very fashionable now. You see it at all levels, but it does stop above the knee, and the rules state that it's got to cover the knee.
And they had Wilson in, and I would not have him playing defense at all in this situation.
28-0, 2:24 till halftime. 2nd and 10 for the Highlanders. Zamora, he's got a man on the far side. Spins away. That's Simon into the end zone. Touchdown. Penalty flag. Another penalty flag. We saw some Sunnyside players rush at the official over there. Very curious to see what this call may be. Okay, Demetrius Simon made the grab, spun from the defender, went into the end zone for the Highlanders' first score. And let's...
Pierce is coming back. When he spun around, I wonder if he got a bit of face mask on.
Well, I'm curious to see if we're going to get a third unsportsmanlike conduct penalty charged to Sunnyside.
Yeah. Yeah, the way those flags went up when everybody charged over there, that's a pretty good guess.
Guess is my middle name. So officials standing at the 35-yard line giving an accounting, and now we're going to hear what the penalty is.
Block in the back on number 1. We have unsportsmanlike dead ball foul on number 2. Both of those penalties are being enforced.
So the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty goes against Malachi Barnes of Sunnyside. A block in the back.
They said they will both be enforced. I've seen this before where they'll walk off one and then walk back, and it still ends up being the same thing.
So Desire Newhouse guilty of the block in the back on the run. Wondering if there's a chance to take one more look at that play, see if we can pick it up on the replay.
Okay, McLane's taking a timeout. 2 minutes and 16 seconds left in this first half.
Oh, correction, Sunnyside's taking the timeout. Well, now, either that or there's a new sort of aerobic exercise where he's waving his arms both ways, but this time a little more emphatic in the direction of Sunnyside, so I guess the timeout is charged to the Wildcats.
That would be real slow motion aerobics, so which kind of defeats the purpose.
Guys on the truck, I don't know if there's any chance we can get that last touchdown brought up one last time, but wanted to see if by some chance we might be able to find the block in the back. Great job done down in the truck, our CMAC crew, but also working with us tonight, the communications and media program that Katie McQuarren runs at Sunnyside High School. Many of the Sunnyside students handling some of the responsibilities on the broadcast tonight, on their telecast, crewing the telecast, running cameras, and handling some of the other tasks, and doing a terrific job.
Interesting game down in Delano. Once beaten Kennedy is hosting unbeaten Shafter, and the Generals have really got a program growing down there. It's 7-7 right before halftime. Good football game. Two hard-nosed teams.
Best team since the days of Deacon Turner back in the early 70s.
A Shafter General himself.
Yes. Lobbed into the end zone. Terrific grab. Incomplete, though, they say. Knocked at the last second out of the hands of Jaron Scott.
Scott has had his hands on it.
So 2:10 to go here until halftime. 2nd and 10 for the Highlanders. Ball resting on the Sunnyside 12-yard line. Wildcats thus far pitching a shutout, 28-0. They've scored on 4 of their 5 possessions tonight. Highlanders, it would certainly mean a lot to this team if they can get in the end zone before halftime. Noah Zamora has really been under the gun tonight. Fakes to McMillan, quick toss, incomplete.
Ball was thrown well short, but Zamora was about to be bought down. He really had little choice.
Noah Zamora is going to have nightmares tonight of those Sunnyside defensive ends bearing down on him as they have all night long. Wildcat D-line has done a tremendous job of getting pressure on the Highlanders, breaking up plays before they can begin. Zamora can't find a receiver, now chucks it, pulled down, and into the end zone for the touchdown.
Well, that was some effort, too, by Boylan.
Absolutely. Let's take one more look at it. Up he goes, pulls it down, and I'm not sure that he was the intended receiver. He had a receiver behind him that may have been the intended target.
Yeah, I think he was by fault the secondary receiver. He saw it coming, went up to get it, and then he had 3 guys and had a chance to keep him out of the end zone.
Another of the outstanding grabs that we have seen tonight that have gone for touchdowns, and a little bit over anxious rush by Sunnyside and offsides. Looks like C.J. Jones, the guilty party. So big touchdown grab for the Highlanders.
Sunnyside almost they caught a break on that because the whistle didn't blow until the ball had been snapped. The kick was good. That should have been a declinable penalty.
Ariel Valdez blasts it through.
Again, McLean, Sunnyside was offside, but the ball was snapped.
So if they continue moving it forward, at what point do you say?
Number 3, Sunnyside. Replay the one on time down.
At what point do you say, hey, let's go for it?
I'd do it right now. And Zamora's in.
And he's wondering because he doesn't have a holder.
He's in.
You saw Valdez in the backfield,
Like,
and he was looking to the bench saying, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yeah, this is Zamora supposed to be holding for me.
Now, was that part of a designed fake?
No, I don't think it was.
But if he's smart, he tells everybody tonight that it was.
Yeah.
So the 2-point conversion good for the Highlanders, and it's a 28-8 game now with 1:56 to play in the second quarter here from Sunnyside Stadium. Dan Taylor, the coach, Fred Clark, glad you're with us for North Yosemite League football tonight and next Friday night, and that's it for the regular season. And we have got a big one next Friday night, we hope. The 93rd annual pig game between Fresno High and Roosevelt, scheduled for 7:30. Join us, barring any unforeseen developments during the week.
The Rough Riders right now are leading Hanford West 28-14. over in Sanger, and I have no score with the Fresno High Warriors up at Madera taking on Torres, but I don't imagine it's going to be very good.
Very high kick, fielded at the 12. Wrapped up, wrestled down at the 22.
Now the Wildcats still have 1 minute and 47 seconds, and with this offense of theirs, that's plenty of time.
That is a year for them. Yeah, it's a lifetime for that offense.
The Highlanders are really going to have to suck it up here and try and keep things from getting. Can't let Sunnyside score again before the half if they want any chance to get back into this game. The Highlanders do get the ball to start the second half.
Desir Newsom in a free safety position back at the 40. And with his speed, you got to think it's going to be difficult for any of the Wildcats to get by him. Wilson, once again, flushed from the pocket, takes off on the run, and he's knocked out of bounds. This might be the most we have seen Tanner Wilson under pressure in a ball game in quite a while.
Yeah, the Highlanders have taken him out of his comfort zone passing-wise, but he still using the wheels to get positive yardage.
Wilson, complete. Wrapped up at the 32. C.J. Jones, when he gets those mitts on a football, he is very dangerous.
Exciting things happen.
Absolutely. He has scored twice tonight thus far. Wilson coming out. Caught at the 35.
Simon does a good job holding on to him.
That will be long enough for the first down.
That was first down play. Moved it back just a little bit.
Wilson brought down. Takes a loss of about 3. Clock down to 37 seconds and running.
Martinez and Cerna in on that tackle, and they didn't bring him down softly.
Could be the last play of the half. Wilson is going to run with the football. Wrapped up. May have picked up a yard or two. That's the end of the first half. So a high-scoring affair for the Sunnyside High Wildcats, a frustrating one for the McLane Highlanders. Our score at halftime here from Sunnyside Stadium, 28-8, Sunnyside on top. A win tonight certainly would lock up the North Yosemite League title for the Sunnyside High Wildcats. McLane certainly with some adjustments to make at halftime. And what would you adjust?
Well, attitude mainly. You know, you've got to keep doing what you're doing. Get the pressure on Wilson, as it looked like the Highlanders were dead in the water after they had fumbled the kickoff. They were down 28-0. Sunnyside had a first down at the 10-yard line, and yet they didn't score, and then they took that 21-yard loss, and the Highlanders got the ball at midfield. They got points on the board. They get in the football the second half. It doesn't look good for the Highlanders. I'm not going to try and BS anybody about that, but they have life, and they score again and get a little bit more confidence. We still might have a football game.
So we're going to take a break here from Sunnyside Stadium and take you back to the CMAC studios for more of what's happening in the community and with CMAC. When we come back, we'll have second half highlights and start a play in the second half. 28-8 our score from Sunnyside Stadium. Sunnyside on top of the Highlanders. We'll be back with more football in a moment.
Do you want another water or Powerade?
I think I'm okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm okay.
Yeah, until January.
So not even no basketball.
Why? What happened? The girl up on me in the top of my head.
Barbara?
I was shot blocking. Yep.
Bruh, now we're two freaking concussions. So, wait, so like,
How did you
what
get your
happened?
first
Did you
one?
pass out or what?
No, I didn't pass out. I just got a really bad swing. Okay. No, I got it.
Where you going?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. My nan's in there.
I know.
Hello's in that one.
She's not gonna know. I'm say I'm with Julie and Taylor. And Miss Johnson. Does she know Miss Johnson? Does she know April or Miss Johnson?
Oh, April.
Oh, you wanna watch? That's fun.
No, I'm trying to get out of the noise because the noise is bugging my head. I was doing so good. Like yesterday and the day before that, I scored a 0, and then today it hit me. I was like, dang. Yeah, I was so upset. Right now, because it just hit me right now, so I even said ibuprofen. But I was doing so good. Okay. I was like at a 0 for 2 days. Today would have been my 3rd day if I did the score sheet, but then now since it keeps going to loud to quiet, the noise is it's throwing my head off. How did you get your first one?
Scoring.
My first one, they dropped me at work on the back door. I told no one. Okay, we get it. How'd you get? Oh, the second one was a car accident, yeah? My head is throbbing. It's like right in the middle of my forehead.
Look, y'all look great. Look.
Just go in there, ask her, and she'll give you one. You gotta kind of dig for the bottom part.
What? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell Madison to go with me.
I respect y'all, but I gotta get paid. You know?
I got what's
I told her, hey, I respect what you guys are doing, but at the end of the day, I gotta pay for my bills. Unless you're gonna get paid, it's not gonna work. I'll strike with you. If I ain't getting paid, I'm sorry. I gotta feed my needs, you know? I gotta pay myself. I got bills to pay. I got my dog eating vegan food.
Where are you going Saturday?
I work. I told y'all. I told Rosa. I work.
Hey, if you just want to take a day off, that's all you have to say.
Sometimes you need a break, you know, a mental break. That's why when you have a text me, I'm like, oh, my mental break.
Hey, get up, let's go. Ivan, let's go.
Hey, let's go! Hey, let's go! Hey, finish it! Let's go! Finish! Finish the ball, bro. They don't come on.
Welcome back to Sunnyside Stadium for second half action here. Sunnyside High sitting on top of McLane High by a count of 28-8 at the intermission. And Fred, it's got to be a tough task to be a team down 20 points in the locker room at halftime and try to inspire your guys and make some adjustments when nothing has really worked at all.
Oh, no doubt at all. I mean, when you're down by 3 touchdowns, you're not playing at home, and you're playing a team that's absolutely owned you for the last 10 or 12 years, it's got to be demoralizing. However, you have to look on some of the positives, and there are some. They could have been down 35 or 36 to nothing at halftime, and then there would have been absolutely not a sliver of hope at all. They got it. They're down by 20 points. They've got the ball now. They're not without hope. And it's slim. You know, when we're talking about this at the end of the half, I wouldn't be betting on the Highlanders right now, but they do have an opportunity, and they have life because of that last touchdown, and they didn't let Sunnyside bring the ball back down, and they stopped in the last 2 times Sunnyside's had the ball. So you've got something to build on. So how was that?
Some of the assistant coaches from McLean walked by us here in the press box going into their booth and said, gee, we wish we'd given you a much better show in the first half. Well, they did. One of their goals was to put a lot of pressure on Tanner Wilson, the terrific Sunnyside quarterback. That they did, but he is so mobile, has such a strong arm, that even when he is flushed out of the pocket, he's able to make things happen. A couple of outstanding TD grabs by C.J. Jones. Just an incredible one-hand grab in the back of the end zone as well. And that has seen them sit on a 20-point lead at 28-8 here at halftime.
Well, I was able to speak to Bob Canachanian, the head of the officials. He's sitting down there in a walker. He just had a successful hip replacement and adjustment.
Good for
and
Bob.
Bob updated me. My officiating crew, I didn't announce him because I knew it wasn't right. I will do so now. The referee is Dean Musgrove. The umpire is Clayton Williams. The head linesman, who was my head linesman down here? Was Brandon Robinson. The field judge was Aaron Padilla. The back judge is Scott Hammock, and the side judge is Raji Stanfield Duncan. So now we're all up to date.
There we go. And the officials had to remember who was going in which direction when we finished the first half, and they now have walked the teams to the opposite sides of the field now.
I'm glad they didn't have to ask me.
And it looks as though one of the Sunnyside coaches is having a conversation. Don't know if he's confused about it, but the official is pointing.
And Sunnyside crowd, we're bringing out loud things, so make sure you show proper respect. Keep your hands to yourself.
Okay, we're going to do this again.
Now they're going to switch. This is crazy. Now they're going to switch again, and they're going to have Sunnyside defending the west end zone. McLane defending the east end zone. But that's the direction they were going in when we ended the first half.
Maybe one of the officials hadn't finished their hot dog yet. Clovis East is putting some separation. They lead Clovis 28-13 over at La Monica in the third quarter. Clovis North has opened up a 21-3 lead over Stubborn Buchanan in the third quarter. Madera is ahead at Edison 21-14 at the half. Garza leads Memorial 28-10 in the third quarter. What else do we have? Down in Bakersfield, once beaten Liberties 1 point ahead of unbeaten Frontier, 14-13.
Demetrius Simon and a toss to Desir Newhouse. Newhouse across the 40-yard line before being pushed out of bounds.
Good field position for the Highlanders to start out the second half.
So a little bit of razzle-dazzle there to start the second half as Demetrius Simon hauled in the kickoff, but tossed it to Desir Newhouse as he ran by. And Newhouse able to cross the 40, and they'll place it at the 42-yard line. So the Highlanders will begin the second half, trailing 28-8. And they continue to go with Noah Zamora at quarterback. They have alternated. Jaden Turner has got a lot of playing time in. This is McMillan.
He goes nowhere as Sunnyside so far, after one play, has continued their dominance of the lines of scrimmage. Loss of a couple of yards.
Second down and 12. Nose of the football on the 40-yard line. McLane with 3 receivers to the right of Zamora. Big pass rush. And the linebackers do an outstanding job as Zamora tossed it over the oncoming rushers. Newhouse was able to haul it in, but the linebackers were all over him.
It looked like a good setup there for McLane. It looked like that had some potential to get the ball in Newhouse's hands, but as you said, Sunnyside's linebackers were all over that, and loss of another 3.
There you see another look at it. Desir Newhouse, a guy who can really make things happen. A lot of speed, a lot of talent, but Sunnyside has managed to keep him in check throughout this one. Zamora has a man. And that is indeed a pass interference call against Sunnyside. And he was going for Newhouse, but the defender was face guarding him. Newhouse tried to come back for the football. The defender had no idea where the ball was.
Yeah, that flag was a little bit of a delay. Ref over on this side was about to toss his when this came out. Just gonna give the Highlanders a first down, barely.
So the officials now will march off the yardage. And that moves the football across the 50 and down to the Sunnyside 47-yard line. McMillan knows Zamora is going to keep it. Picks up about 2.
Zamora keeps the ball.
It's like one of the Wildcats has got a stinger. It's like Noah Gonzalez, who's been in on some good tackles tonight. And he was running off, just holding his arm that was kind of dangling, and that usually indicates stinger, and those are really, really unpleasant.
So the training staff tending to Noah Gonzalez and the McLane Highlanders huddle up around Andrew Pancotti, their head coach, across the way.
This is the first injury stoppage we've had tonight.
I think you're right. Thought we were going to have one early, but the player who stayed on his keister a little bit got up quicker than expected. In this case, though,
he's still holding that left shoulder gingerly.
not fun.
Moving it around a little bit. Last night at Sanger-Bullard game, one of the officials didn't look like he got hit too hard. And he reminded me of an English soccer player. And he stayed down there for a while and said, man, if you're going to be down there that long, you better not officiate anymore tonight. Well, finally was able to get up and finish the game, but I thought, you know, if you can do that, man, just kind of hide on the sidelines.
Second down and 8 for the Highlanders. Zamora, quick out. Simon trying to dodge and evade the tacklers. Looks as though he's probably picked up maybe 3 yards.
Well, some of these passes just seem to take a long time to get there. Sunnyside, this continues. They're going to grab one of those. So that ball was in the air for quite a while. McMillan was lucky to get anything out of that.
You've got to put a lot of zip on the football on that particular pattern.
Well, yeah, throwing it halfway across the field like that sideways.
Zamora looking to the sideline for ball's on the ground. Zamora comes up with it. Gets away from one rusher, but he is wrestled to the ground back at the 47-yard line.
He's lost of almost 10 on that. Zamora did a good job not losing the football, but that was a disaster. The Highlanders are apparently going to punt the ball away.
Jaden Turner coming in, and he is the punter. Had trouble the last time he came on to punt with a ball that was rolled back to him. Managed to get a low liner off. Better snap this time. Hangs it up in the air, and it's going to land at the 25-yard line where it is downed. Actually the 26, and that's where Sunnyside will begin their first second half possession.
Well, the Highlanders held onto the ball for about 4 minutes, but didn't come up with any points, and now their defense is going to have to rise to the occasion, which they've done the last 2 times they've been on the field. But a lot of these young men playing both ways are getting tired.
28-8, Sunnyside on top. 8:06 to play here in the third quarter. Glad you've joined us here on CMAC. Run right up the middle. Looks like that's going to gain about 4.
Well, you get 4 or 5 yards a pop on first down. Take some of the pressure off.
Keeps the clock running. Win tonight would pretty much lock up the North Yosemite League crown. Donta Hart, the ball carrier. Stopped at the 35-yard line. It's third down. Sunnyside undefeated in North Yosemite League play. McLane and Torres High both with 1 loss. That 1 loss for Torres came last week to Sunnyside. Boy, he keeps the legs churning, and he's got a first down. Out to the 45-yard line. What a second effort.
And there was contact 10 yards back where it looked like the Highlanders had a good chance of stopping him, and he just kept churning, and then his offensive lineman kept shoving and kept going.
Wilson evades the pursuit.
He's got a lot of wide open space.
Caught. Down to the 16-yard line. Ball's loose. C.J. Jones on the receiving end for the Wildcats.
And Jones went up, and he's got some height on him anyway, and then he just elevates when he sees the ball coming, and Wilson seems to know where he's at all times. Wilson had about 20 yards to run on that, too, if he would have wanted to pull the ball down. Jones gets up.
Had two receivers in the area. Wow. 1st and 10, ball at the 18-yard line. That is Dante Hart. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Small gain of play. 2nd down. Christopher Center defended.
Wilson.
Oh, it slipped out of his hand. Yeah, that just slipped out.
Brings up 3rd and 7 now from the 15-yard line. And we've seen how dangerous the Wildcats are on 3rd down. They are not worried by 3rd or 4th downs much at all.
Well, they figure they have 2 downs to get 7 yards.
So the whistles blow, and we've got a penalty. Ball start charge to the Wildcats.
3rd now, about 13 yards to go.
Wilson fires. Jones dropped the football.
That's something we won't see too often.
No, maybe not again in our lifetime. E.J. Jones wide open with nothing but end zone in front of him. And the ball dropped from his grasp to the artificial turf here at Sunnyside Stadium. So 4th and 12 now. And the Wildcats will go for it. Daquan Jones in the backfield alongside Tanner Wilson. And McLane wants a timeout to talk it over.
Yeah, they have an opportunity right now. They need to make this stop. They badly needed to score on that first possession, but they need to stop the Wildcats now if they're to have any chance.
So the two teams gathered around their coaching staffs. Again, as quick as Sunnyside has been able to strike with big plays, 3rd down, 4th down have not really been challenging for them much at all.
Sunnyside's band has abandoned the football game.
Boy, did a terrific halftime show. Very impressive performance.
The Highlander band still across the way looking for something to play the fight song about.
28-8 our score. 5:27 to go here in the 3rd quarter of play from Sunnyside Stadium. Glad you're with us. Next week, we're scheduled for the 93rd annual Pig Game, the Fresno Roosevelt rivalry game. Into the end zone. The leap. Is it?
Touchdown. Is it?
No, it is incomplete.
We had one incomplete.
Well, the official who was right on the play has not made a signal.
We had one rule a touchdown. Penalty flag's down anyway. Everyone's confused, Dan.
Okay, here comes the call. Well, the fourth unsportsmanlike conduct penalty charged to Sunnyside High.
Okay, I'm still confused. Is it McLane ball, or was that a touchdown and there's a penalty being assessed?
Well, the officials now have gathered at the 20-yard line, as you see in the top left of your screen. So they're marching it off from the 20-yard line back to the 35. So it's 4th and 27 for Sunnyside.
So I guess it was a touchdown.
Now they're going to punt the football, and McLane has nobody deep. And the Wildcats will down it at the 2-yard line.
That was a nice punt. Low, get a little bit of a bounce. Let your coverage team get down there, and the Highlanders have got a long ways to go.
So 5:02 left here in the third quarter, 28-8. Sunnyside on top of McLane. Highlanders who have struggled thus far in the third quarter get the football at the 2-yard line. Well, they have had great field position and not been able to do anything with it. And now they've got their back up against the wall here, and let's see what they're able to pull off. Zamora, McMillan may have picked up a yard at best.
Yeah, at best. He was met right away. Highlanders' second possession this half. First possession, they held on to the ball for about 4 minutes, but they weren't able to get anything really going. Well, on the scoreboard, they moved it a little bit.
So this time Zamora operates from the pistol in his end zone, and he's in trouble, and down he goes for a safety.
It's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown. He lost the handle on the football. Sunnyside recovers, and it's a touchdown for the Wildcats. So the player being congratulated is Chance Harris.
That pretty much snuffs out any opportunities the Highlanders have of pulling out a big comeback.
For the Wildcats, as they normally do, will go for 2. Up 34-8. Wilson has nobody, and he is able to run it across for the 2-point conversion. And our score 36-8. With just 4 minutes and 15 seconds to play here in the third quarter.
Wilson's down over on the track. He may have pulled a muscle or gotten a cramp there running this out. We'll see this again. Well, didn't see anything there that would have indicated an injury, but he's down on the track there on right outside of the Highlander locker room. And now he's up. And the Highlanders now, Dan, are to that unfortunate point I was referring to earlier in the game, and we've talked about it before. When you have virtually no chance of winning the game, you just have to get better every play. And that's how they have to look at it. And the Highlanders did come into this game with such high hopes of springing an upset and throwing this thing into a three-way tie. And now they can only be playing for pride. And it's kind of tough at this age group. So we'll see what they got.
Well, that low line drive kick is going to go past Simon down to about the 5-yard line. He circles back, gets a block, out across the 20, tries to turn it up, and out of bounds he goes. So the Highlanders will begin this possession from their own 25-yard line, trailing 36-8.
Send me your location, let's focus on communicating, because I just need the time and place to come through. Send me your location,
and Samora is coming back in at quarterback. As thinking the Highlanders might want to make a change, but not happening yet.
Three receivers to Zamora's right. He has been under pressure much of the night and is under pressure again. Nobody to throw to, and down he goes for a loss back to the 15-yard line. You can hear the coaches in the booth next to us screaming at him to just throw the football and get rid of it.
Get rid of it, Noah. Yeah. So he was running for his life, trying to find somebody to throw it to, and, you know, when you guys have guys chasing you that are just as fast or faster than you are, and you got the ball in your hands, it's kind of a what do I do now feeling.
You know, watching Zamora go to the sideline after each play to get a play and bring it back, and the fact that they have a terrific young sophomore quarterback also on the sidelines who has played a lot, kind of takes me back. Of course, this does happen to older people, but it takes me back to the Don Coryell years at San Diego State, when one year he had two outstanding quarterbacks, Jesse Freitas, a junior college transfer from San Mateo, and a young guy named Brian Sipe, who years later was an NFL MVP.
Yeah.
And they alternated on every other play. Sipe would quarterback, and then at the end of the play, Freitas would come on, Sipe would go off. At the end of the play that Freitas quarterback, he would go off, Sipe would come on, and they did this throughout the entire season.
And usually when you have a quarterback controversy, you don't have a quarterback. But who could have pulled that off? You know, Coryell's one of the few.
Two very talented quarterbacks who both went on to the NFL.
Yeah, remember Sipe with the Browns. I think the Raiders may have beaten them in one of those big playoff comebacks that haunted the Browns for years.
That's right.
Well, it looks like the McLane band has joined the Sunnyside band in abandoning the field.
So the two teams back out on the field now, having conversed with their coaching staffs. 36-8, Sunnyside on top. 2:55 left here in the third quarter. Man in motion, Boyland. Pass incomplete.
Pass is incomplete. Third down.
Highlanders to the line of scrimmage. Now 4 receivers to the left of Zamora.
The Wildcats look like they're about to bring some pressure. Oh, now they're backing off a little.
3rd and 20, Zamora. Comes back to the near side, complete. No, knocked out of the hands of Newhouse. Malachi Barnes, the defender on the play, knocked the ball from Newhouse.
And Newhouse was still going to be about 10 yards short of first down yardage, and the Highlanders are going to have to punt the ball away.
2:42 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Turner punts the football away. Comes to the near sideline, bounces at the 45, fumbled. And I'm not sure that the McLane player realized that was a live ball. That was Demetrius Simon. And it was, in fact, a live ball. And the Wildcats were able to recover. How's that scoreboard looking, Fred?
Okay, Clovis North has defeated Buchanan 28-3. Buchanan now has no chance of getting into the playoffs. What else do we have? Gars has really separated themselves from San Joaquin Memorial. It's 38-10 out at Collegian Stadium. Chowchilla leads Carruthers 24-21. Good game up in Chowchilla. And the Cougars have come back. Clovis East still leads the Cougars, but it's 28-26, beginning of the 4th quarter. Fresno Christian leads Sierra 34-16 up at Toll House. What else do we have? Roosevelt putting it to Sanger West. Out in Sanger 42-17. And that's about all we've got that would be of any interest. Well, Hoover's, oh, wow.
Wilson goes down, a big loss. All the way back to the 25-yard line.
Hoover's tied Madera South up in Madera early in the 3rd quarter, tied at 14. And down in Delano, Kennedy has got a 14-7 lead over undefeated Shafter in the 3rd quarter. Casey Quinn's last season at Ridgeville, of the many schools he's coached, the Drillers are putting it to Ridgeview 44-15.
2nd and 25. C.J. Jones with blockers. Cuts back, looks for even more help. Brought down shy of midfield. Or actually just shy of the 45-yard line, and that's where he had to get.
3rd and a short yard.
Now 3rd and 11, he's got to get across to
11.
the other 45-yard line. Got to get over to McLane's 45.
I missed that one.
So he ate up about half of the needed yards. Wilson throwing across his body, intercepted, picked off by Simon. Looking to get a blocker, looking for some help. And he goes out of bounds at the McLane 40-yard line.
Ran out of room. Simon got up. That looked like that was going to be a completion for first down yardage. Simon got up, won the jump, and the Highlanders still have a pulse.
Look at the run back. Simon continued to look to get around the edge.
Christopher Brown, despite being outsped, was able to at least string him out of bounds.
First down for the Highlanders from their own 40-yard line, trailing here 36-8. 1:05 remaining in the third quarter. McMillan spins, gets across the 45, picks up about 6.
One of the better ground efforts on the night for the Highlanders.
Second down and 4. Newhouse in motion. Toss to the near side. That's Scott. First down.
Might be the last play of the third quarter.
Indeed, you're right. They hustle up to the line, but the whistle blows. We're through 3 quarters of play here from Sunnyside Stadium as the host Wildcats sit on top 36-8 on a night where the win could nail down the North Yosemite League title for them once again.
And we will have a 2-yard switch off. I'd really like to see the Wildcats step up in competition. And remember this stuff from last year?
Turn the fan on.
Yeah.
And stick it at the window to blow it away.
Good idea.
The description is, there you can see it. They like to launch this dust in the school colors, but the difficulty is it comes up into the booth and gets on all of our equipment.
This fan has some good use for us tonight. Yeah, I'd like to see the Wildcats step up in competition, play in the CMAC. The CMAC's really down this year too. I think I wouldn't like their chances because Sanger's still in there, but they could have competed with most of the other teams.
Zamora going deep. He's got a man who's got to step on the defender, but well overthrown beyond the speedy legs of Desir Newhouse.
Boy, that powder's just hanging right up here too, Dan, just like the smoke did before the game.
Well, I don't know whose ingenious idea that was, but I can tell you people in press boxes at every high school stadium where it's done can't stand it.
Yeah, we lead the charge on that one.
Oh, I don't know. I see some interesting posts on social media from sports writers and broadcasters, high school stadiums around.
Okay, it's not just us.
No, not at all. We're in a big fan club.
Okay. Better get rid of it.
And down goes Zamora.
About a 17-yard loss on that.
Zamora's a junior. He'll be back next year, and one of the lessons I would imagine the coaches hope he will take into next season is getting rid of the football.
Yeah, this has been a rough night for him.
Take another look.
They also had holding on the Highlanders that will obviously be declined.
So third down, 21 to go for the Highlanders.
Third down.
They they come again.
Unleashes it quickly this time, has a receiver up the far sideline, and he's close to a gain of about 10 yards, but that's still going to leave him 10 yards shy of the first down. Desir Newhouse, who's got great speed on the receiving end, gets the football up to the Highlander 49-yard line.
Looked like he's almost in a position to break for a big gain on that, but the Wildcat outside backers were not going to allow that to happen.
Clock continues to run. 4th and 12. Highlanders going for broke here. They need to cross the 40. Quick toss. Trying desperately to get out of the grasp of the defender, but he will wind up about 4 yards shy, and the ball will be turned over on downs to the Sunnyside High Wildcats.
Looked like when McMillan had the ball, initially made the catch, if he would have cut in, it looked like he may have had first down yardage.
Cut outside and was not able to evade the grasp. The defender had him by the leg. So the Highlanders wind up about 4 yards shy of a first down. And Sunnyside's going to take over on downs. Ball at the 43-yard line.
And once again, the Sunnyside staff had to appeal to the sidelines to hold the noise down.
Now it's a DJ that's playing recorded music. The band having gone home. Quick out. Malachi Barnes off to the races to the 30. And steps out of bounds at the 25.
They have a Highlander getting up slowly there, 35-yard line. It's number 21, Juju Scott. First down yardage for the Wildcats. And the Highlanders are slowly getting back to their positions.
Well, we thought fatigue might set in about this time. That defense has been on the field a lot tonight. Low snap. Wilson continuing to throw the football. Up by 4 scores here, 9 minutes to play. Go to the 19-yard line. 9 minutes left of the game. Give into the end zone. Touchdown, Sunnyside.
There's Dante Hart. And Hart just went up the middle and then cut across the grain, and nobody touched him.
Nobody touched him. 42-8 our score now. Here's another look at it. Dante Hart.
Well, he's got some acceleration to him.
So Sunnyside will go for 2. 42-8 our score. Clock will continue to run now with that size of a lead. Sunnyside runs a play, but the officials had not given them the okay to run a play.
So this is your friendly reminder that it's time to call your parents, text your parents, Facebook message your parents, TikTok your parents. Let your parents know or your ride know that you need to be picked up.
So let's wait to hear the call.
I still don't see that we had any call.
I guess not. So the Wildcats now have the green light to go ahead. And they will go for 2 here. Wilson, he had previously thrown the fade route.
Just barely escaped, so he's going to go back to about the 30.
Let's fly into the end zone. Leaps. Grab. Good. I believe it was Malachi Barnes. So the 2-point conversion is good.
I know we got penalty flags down here in an area where it would usually indicate holding or a block in the back. Let's wait and see.
Foul, blindside block, number 51.
Well, there you heard it. A blindside block. Charge goes against Sunnyside High.
Well, it just gives Wilson another opportunity to give us an entertaining play. So one of our members up here got covered with a little bit of that dust a few minutes ago.
So the ball's moved back to the 18-yard line.
Now we're going to have a attempted PAT instead of a 2 PAT.
It's quite a rarity.
This will be a 35-yard extra point attempt.
Malachi Barnes to attempt the extra point. Line drive, and it's good. So Malachi Barnes, good on the extra point. It's our score 43-8.
First Sunnyside extra point kick we've seen in a while.
Very true.
That was quite a circus play for the 2-point conversion that was called back. I mean, Wilson did. He was back to past the 30-yard line and just threw it up, and it still hit Barnes in the hands.
Well, he's got outstanding receivers to throw to, and we've seen it tonight, some of the remarkable catches that have been made. The leaping one-hand grab in the end zone.
A lot of improvising.
And credit for the need to improvise goes to the McLane defense. They really have put a lot more pressure on Wilson than we have seen teams get in previous games that we've done.
And he's adapted well to it.
(43-8) our score. Running clock now for the remainder of the night. 7:38 to play. The announcement here in Sunnyside Stadium has already gone out for students to call or text their parents for a ride. The two bands have already left. Glad you've stayed with us, though. Fun night here on CMAC. Always is when we bring you high school football. Now, what are they going to do? Will they lateral again? No. Simon in the grasp at the 25. Down he goes at about the 27-yard line.
You have to be elusive with great speed if you're going to return a kick for any distance when you're running laterally. If you're running laterally, all you're doing is giving everybody a chance to get down and catch you. You're not giving your own men much of a chance to set up a wall for you.
Out come the Highlanders, looking to see Noah Zamora remains in at quarterback. McMillan, the man in motion. Give goes to, trying to get a number on him, but he picks up some pretty good yardage across the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
That's Gustavo Castaneda for the Highlanders.
Saw him last week. He was fairly impressive on several runs last week for the Highlanders. They kept the ball on the ground a lot in their win last week.
A little bit of a step up in competition this week. In the meantime, I'll see if I can find some scores, see how things are going up there with Madera South and Hoover.
Wildcats showing blitz. One going right up the middle, and again, Castaneda picking up some yardage. Close again on 5 minutes left in the ball game.
Something I didn't see coming. Carruthers now come from 2 scores back to lead Chowchilla, 31-24 up at Chowchilla late in the 4th quarter.
Zamora off to the races he goes across the 50, the 40, one man to beat. Can he beat him? He's down inside the 15-yard line and knocked out of bounds. Noah Zamora, terrific run.
Noah Zamora keeps the ball.
We saw that a lot last week. He just hasn't been able to get through this quite tonight until then. He got some speed on him too.
They've been pinching him from the ends all night long, and finally able to find a seam off tackle. And the ball will be placed at the 10-yard line. So 1st and goal for the Highlanders. 43-8 our score. McLane with the ball. 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Zamora. Lob into the end zone. Incomplete.
Could have been picked, could have been a touchdown.
Demetrius Simon, the intended receiver.
Out at LaMonica, Clovis East has got some breathing room now over the Cougars, 42-26.
Hoover hasn't put 400 points on the board again this week.
Yeah, that 444, they were a little off last week. Roosevelt's really hammering Sanger West, 56-17. Sanger West is going to have a tough challenge against Sunnyside next week.
Zamora for Newhouse.
In and out
Incomplete.
of his hands.
Pass incomplete. Intended for Newhouse.
Now 3rd and goal.
Hoover's taken the lead over Madera South, 20-14. Up at Madera, also at Madera. First score we have, Torres is leading Fresno High 56-14. I think that might be over at Ratcliffe tonight, 3rd quarter.
Inside of 3 minutes now. Highlanders huddling up. 3rd and goal. Big play as they try to get into the end zone. Noah Zamora. Toss, fade route into the end zone. Over the head of Desir Newhouse. Not sure Newhouse had a good sight line on that football.
I think you're right. He still had some room in there, and he looked over the wrong shoulder.
So 4th down. And it looks as though Andrew Pancotti is going to give a play to his quarterback and have him go for it here on 4th and goal. Fires in and out of the hands of Newhouse, incomplete, and the ball will go over to Sunnyside on downs. Clock running, or inside of a minute 45.
Well, as we had just mentioned, Sunnyside closes out the season against Sanger West next week, and I'm guessing that's not going to be a real competitive game. And we have the pig game with Fresno and Roosevelt, and the Rough Riders are on their way to winning their 5th game tonight, and they'll be looking to break 500 next week, and the Warriors will be playing for pride. They've won 2 games this season. They would love to close out the season by denying the Rough Riders that 6th win.
And a lot of times when one of those 2 schools is having a down year, their year can be made simply by winning the rivalry game.
I think that happening many, many times.
Indeed. Next week, here on CMAC, next Friday night at 7:30, the 93rd annual pig game, Fresno High and Roosevelt High.
The Wildcats are in victory formation. This game's on.
And the Highlanders have a chance still to win their 7th game in almost 30 years when they play the Hoover Patriots next week. I like their chances.
So the Wildcats take a knee. They're going to let the clock run out here. 25 seconds and ticking. And Sunnyside High victorious by a final of 43-8. And that locks up the North Yosemite League title for the Wildcats. An impressive season. Undefeated in league play, 1 loss in the season overall. Frustrating night for the McLane Highlanders, who came in with high hopes. They've enjoyed their biggest season in many, many a year, maybe in a few decades. Andrew Pancati has done a terrific job building that program. And there's some nice talent, some good young underclass players that will keep the Highlanders very competitive next season. But a tough night tonight as they came in with a good game plan but unable to execute it, and they fall 43-8.
Bitter pill to swallow for the Highlanders, but if they regroup, beat Hoover next week, might be able to host a playoff game. It's I would imagine they'll be D4 at this stage, and if they could, win a playoff game and just get more confidence to build on, who knows what will happen.
Well, be sure to join us next Friday night at 7:30 for what is annually one of the biggest, if not the biggest game in Fresno High School football. The Pig Game, the 93rd annual rivalry game, the Pig Game, featuring the 2 oldest high schools in the city, Fresno High and Roosevelt High. That's next Friday night at 7:30 here on CMAC. Again, our final score from Sunnyside Stadium, the host Sunnyside High Wildcats, nailing down the North Yosemite League title with a 43-8 win over the McLane Highlanders. For the coach, Fred Clark, I'm Dan Taylor. Good night, everybody.